Rocket League is a game about cars and soccer. Created by Psyonix in 2015, it was a sequel slash successor to the original game. Ooh, I'm gonna have to get my new glasses for this. Supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. Fuck, that's a mouthful. Eventually, they were acquired by Epic Games to create Rocket Racing, as a means of extending the wonderful Fortnite brand. Now we know the competition. What if I told you there existed another game that takes these two games and makes something new? In this video, I'm going to be talking about Turbo Golf Racing, a game a friend and I came across that I really liked, and I thought it would be a great idea to make a video about. That out of the way, here goes nothing. Released on August 4th, 2022 as Early Access on Steam and Xbox, and then coming out of Early Access, I fucking bit my tongue! Releasing out of Early Access on April 4th, 2024 with a PlayStation 5 port coming soon, Turbo Golf Racing was developed by Huge Calf Studios, a remote studio based in the UK and continental Europe. Huge Calf was founded in 2016. Between the start of their career and now, their only other game they released was called When Ski Lifts Go Wrong, a game that seems to take inspiration to games like Polybridge and the Trials Bike series. This game, as well as Turbo Golf Racing, was published by Secret Mode. Secret Mode helped release games like Make Way, Still Lakes the Deep, and Stampede Racing Royale. A good way to describe Turbo Golf Racing is, well, golf. It's quite literally in the name. You're racing and you're golfing. Imagine playing regular golf. Instead you're lining a shot, you're in the golf cart and whacking the ball like you're doing a golf drive-by. The game goes for about $10 American on Steam and has DLC, but I'll cover that later on. Now before I get into the nitty-gritty of the game itself, I feel like it's a good idea to explain my point of view of both Rocket's League and Racing and lay down their fundamentals to help explain Turbo Golf Racing a little better. Now, I'm not the best in Rocket League. I'm definitely no League player, and I'm certainly no soccer expert. I can hit the ball, and it will go in the general direction of where I would want it to go. Most of the time. Rocket League also has other modes and different style maps that help give you a nice amount of variety. The Steam version of the game also strives with the modding community. Unfortunately, you can't get Rocket League on Steam anymore, so getting a key is like looking for the holy grail. There's supposedly a workaround if you have the Epic version called Bakes Mod, but that's as far as I looked into it. Regardless, Rocket League's a solid experience all around, with cars teaming up against each other to put a ball on a goal and prevent the other teams from getting it in theirs in soccer fashion. It would be a true experience if we saw the crowds fighting over the teams during the match. At least that's what my friends in the UK told me. Moving on to Rocket Racing, this game definitely strays from Rocket League's controls and formula, which I imagine left a sour taste from the hardcore Rocket League players that spent many years mastering the controls there. Despite this, the game's a pretty solid racer, especially if you compare it to something like Mario Kart. Drifting is similar in Mario Kart, where you build a meter the longer you drift. The meter also builds on another meter that stores 3 charges of boost. After learning this and crashing into other players that completely ruined my lap, like, come on, I was going for best time! I genuinely enjoyed my time with this game. I'll also admit that it's still in its infancy with a lot of room to improve, but I'm sure that'll change in the upcoming months. But all that stuff was Rockets, and now we're with their rival, Turbo Golf Racing. Upon starting, the game gives you an option on what car you want to start with, and welcomes you to a series of tutorial levels that will help you ease into the game's groove. After that, you have the option to race, golf, and sharpen your skills with time trials. Race mode also has a ranked mode that changes the max courses in a match from 3 to 5. Upon starting a casual race mode, you'll be queued into a lobby with however many players the server can find to a max of 8, cross-playing with Steam and Xbox, and fills the rest of the empty slots with bots. Which happens more often than you think. Curses of early access. In both race and golf mode, your goal is to take your ball and put it in the hole at the end of the course, just like golf. In race mode, you're frantically pushing through the course with your ball, racing against other players while using items to knock your opponent off course or make them mess up a shot. But they can and will do the same thing to you. It's starting to feel like Mario Kart. Whoever has the most placement points in 3 races, 5 if you're in competitive, wins the match. In golf mode, each player takes a turn hitting their ball in strokes, like a more traditional golf game. Whoever sinks their ball in a hole with the least amount of strokes in the first of 3 rounds wins. This game is very different to Rocket League and racing, with the main premise being a different sport where you're still using remote control cars. Instead of trying to position your car in different ways, you're constantly pushing it forward. So to add some type of control to this, you have a shield that you can point up or downward to control the height of your stroke. Unique to Turbo Golf is that you can dash and glide through the course. Like Rocket League, you have a boost meter that starts at max, and boost not only increases your speed, but if you boost into your ball at the right angle, you can get some serious distance to get closer to the hole. To fill it up, you can either drive over the many boost pads that are plastered around the courses, glide through scripted glide sections, or have you or your ball pick up some items along the way. Boosting is the main part of the game, and when you run out, you will learn very quickly why it's essential. The game gives you 2 slots for a multitude of abilities called power cores. The cores can vary in upgrades for your car, upgrades for your ball, or even just give you power-ups. For example, one core can ignore rough terrain, meanwhile another can change the size or spin of your ball. There are other abilities that include this sticky goo that makes the ball stick to you for a short period of time, a grappling hook that lunges your car towards the ball, hitting it with the momentum you built up, a shockwave that pushes the ball in whatever direction you hit the shock with, and a lot more you can unlock by simply playing the game. Cosmetics for this game is run by 2 in-game currencies that you earn by playing throughout the game and completing challenges. These 2 currencies are cogs and trophies. Cogs you earn regardless of gameplay, but trophies you can only earn by winning and completing certain challenges. The game also follows a battle pass system that every player has access to. There are 40 levels to climb, and each level gives a nice, cool thing as you level up. While this game does have optional cosmetic packs that cost real money, the in-game shop itself is designed to use the currency you earn throughout the game and doesn't ask for real money at all, not even in the battle pass. I really like this system, and I feel like for a paid experience, games need to utilize this more often. Some paid experiences, or some free-to-play experiences, if we're being real here, go to the extreme in terms of making more revenue out of their games, but not here. You're perfectly capable of personalizing your car and ball without spending a single cent. For me, it makes me feel like you get out what you put in. It gives more incentive to play, build more cogs, and spend them to your heart's content on whatever's cooking at the shop. Some shop items are also powered by the community, which I think is pretty cool. My piece of criticism towards this game is that there isn't a lot of music tracks out for it. I'm sure this will change moving forward, but more music tracks would be nice. This game also lacks local and LAN multiplayer, which I feel like for a game that's oriented around multiplayer should have such options. I also wish for game modes to have respective offline options and be customizable to the player, like tracks per session and item settings. I love playing games like these, but just trying to play with someone that's in a room with you and doesn't have their account set up and ready to go aren't always willing to go out of their way to set it up. They just want to pick up the controller and start playing. Overall, the game is good, casual fun, and I feel like anyone can pick up and have fun with. It's a bit of a learning curve, like most games, but once learned, gives you a genuinely fun experience that I'd easily recommend to anyone that likes Rocket League or Mario Kart or just likes racing games or the idea of remote control cars and sports. Or even if you want to try and be like Tiger Woods without the allegations. I want to thank my brother, How You Dukin, for giving me the inspiration to make a video like this. We and our other brothers watched similar things growing up, and taking the torch to try and make something like this was pretty fun. He made a good video on comparing Madden, a sports game, to fighting games. It's a great watch, I'll put in the description. I also want to thank Sergeant Major Mario for helping me put together the script for this video. He made a book called Honest Bonds, which will also be in the description. What else you can find down there is a recipe for some cookies. If you end up making it or make your own spin on it, let me know in the comments. Do you play Turbo Golf Racing, Rocket League, or Rocket Racing? Let me know how your experience is coming along. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.